When we talk about the consequences of being too soft, we often overlook how subtle and damaging they can be. It starts small, often unnoticed, like a slow leak in a pipe. You might agree to help a friend even though you're already overwhelmed, or take on extra responsibilities at work that weren't yours to begin with, all because you don't want to disappoint others. At first it feels harmless after all. Isn't helping others a good thing? But over time, the cumulative effect of constantly prioritizing others over yourself begins to take a toll. When you are overly accommodating, people start to see you as someone who will always say yes, and while that might sound like a compliment, it often leads to an imbalance in relationships. Your time, energy, and resources become an open buffet for others to take from. They may not even realize they're doing it because you've set the precedent that you'll always be there, no matter what. This dynamic can leave you feeling depleted, unappreciated, and ironically invisible. The very people you strive to support may begin to take you for granted because they assume your sacrifices are just part of who you are. The erosion of self-esteem is one of the most damaging consequences of being too soft. Each time you ignore your own needs to please someone else, you send yourself a silent but powerful message: what I want doesn't matter. Over time, this pattern can lead you to question your worth. You might start to feel like your value is tied solely to how much you can do for others. This belief not only limits your potential, but also traps you in a cycle where you're constantly giving and rarely receiving. Another consequence is resentment, a slow burning emotion that can undermine your relationships and your peace of mind. When you're always the one bending, sacrificing, or compromising, it's easy to feel unappreciated or even used. But here's the catch: the resentment isn't just about others, it's also about yourself. Deep down, you know you're allowing this pattern to continue. This self-directed frustration can create a sense of powerlessness, leaving you stuck in a role you don't want but don't know how to escape. Being too soft also limits your potential. Life is about growth, and growth often requires challenges, discomfort, and even confrontation. When you avoid these things to keep the peace or make others happy, you miss opportunities to learn, to assert yourself, and to achieve your goals. Imagine a tree that bends to accommodate every gust of wind. It might survive for a while, but it will never grow tall and strong. Similarly, constantly yielding to others prevents you from standing tall in your own life. There's also a broader impact on your overall well-being. The stress of constantly putting others first can lead to burnout, anxiety, and even physical health issues. You might find yourself lying awake at night, replaying conversations where you agreed to something you didn't want to do, or worrying about how to meet everyone's expectations. Over time, this stress accumulates, leaving you exhausted and emotionally drained. Perhaps the most tragic consequence of being too soft is the missed opportunity to live authentically. When you're always accommodating others, it's easy to lose sight of your own values, dreams, and desires. You might wake up one day and realize that you've been living a life shaped by other people's needs and expectations, not your own. The weight of that realization can be devastating because you can't go back and reclaim lost time. The cost of being too soft is not just about what others take from you, it's about what you fail to give yourself. Your time, energy, and focus are finite resources, and when you spend them entirely on others, you leave little for your own growth, happiness, and fulfillment. It's not selfish to protect these resources, it's essential. By prioritizing your own needs and setting boundaries, you can create a life that honors both your compassion and your strength. Setting boundaries is one of the most empowering actions you can take for yourself, yet it's often misunderstood. Many people equate boundaries with selfishness, rudeness, or even rejection. In reality, boundaries are acts of self-respect and self-preservation that ensure you have the space, time, and energy to focus on what truly matters. They are not about shutting people out, but about protecting your well-being and maintaining healthy relationships. Without boundaries, life can quickly become chaotic, leaving you overwhelmed, undervalued, and disconnected from your purpose. Imagine a river without banks. Without boundaries to contain and direct its flow, the water spreads aimlessly, losing its power and purpose. That's what life feels like without boundaries, scattered and ineffective. When you don't set limits, you allow others to dictate how you spend your time, what responsibilities you take on, and even how you feel about yourself. It's as if you hand over the steering wheel of your life to everyone around you, leaving little room for your own needs and aspirations. One of the most important aspects of boundaries is learning to say no. For many, this can feel uncomfortable, even impossible, especially if you've been conditioned to equate no with rejection or failure. But every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your values or priorities, you are effectively saying no to something that does. You might agree to stay late at work, sacrificing time with your family, or take on a friend's project, delaying progress on your own goals. Over time, these small compromises add up, leaving you far from where you want to be. Boundaries also communicate to others what you value and what you will not tolerate. They set expectations for how you want to be treated and provide a framework for healthy interactions. When you establish boundaries, you are saying, this is what matters to me, and I ask that you respect it. People who value and respect you will honor those boundaries, while those who don't may reveal their true intentions. This clarity can help you strengthen meaningful relationships and distance yourself from toxic ones. Another critical benefit of boundaries is that they help you prioritize your time and energy. In today's fast-paced world, where demands seem endless, boundaries act as filters that help you focus on what truly matters. Without them, it's easy to get pulled in countless directions, trying to meet everyone's needs but your own. This constant juggling act often leads to burnout, leaving you physically and emotionally drained. By setting boundaries, you create space for rest, reflection, and renewal, which are essential for long-term success and happiness. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you. When you consistently allow others to cross your boundaries, you inadvertently send the message that your needs are less important. Over time, this can lead to imbalances in relationships where you feel taken advantage of or unappreciated. However, when you enforce your boundaries, you demonstrate self-respect and encourage others to respect you as well. This mutual respect is the foundation of healthy, lasting relationships. Some people fear that setting boundaries will make them seem uncaring or distant. But boundaries are not barriers, they are bridges that allow for healthier, more authentic connections. By being clear about what you need and expect, you eliminate misunderstandings and resentment, creating relationships built on trust and mutual respect. True compassion involves being honest about your limits while still being supportive in ways that are sustainable for you. Boundaries are not about rejecting others, they are about choosing yourself. They are an acknowledgement that your time, energy, and emotional well-being are valuable and deserve protection. Setting boundaries allows you to live with greater intention, aligning your actions with your values and goals. It empowers you to take control of your life, ensuring that you are not just reacting to the demands of others, but actively shaping the path you want to follow. You can't pour from an empty cup. By setting boundaries, you preserve the energy and focus needed to thrive in your own life while still being able to support and uplift those around you. Boundaries are not selfish, they are essential. Tough love is often misunderstood as harshness or indifference, but in reality, it's one of the most genuine forms of care you can offer. It's not about being unkind, it's about fostering growth and resilience by challenging others to rise to their potential. When you consistently shield people from discomfort or failure, you deny them the opportunity to learn critical life lessons and develop the strength they need to succeed. Tough love isn't about pushing people away, it's about helping them become their best selves, even when the process is uncomfortable. Imagine a parent teaching their child to ride a bike. At some point they have to let go, even if it means the child might fall. It's a nerve-wracking moment, but without it, the child would never learn balance, confidence, or independence. This is the essence of tough love, allowing others to face challenges, make mistakes, and grow from them. While it might feel easier to step in and solve problems for them, doing so ultimately stunts their growth and keeps them dependent on you. Tough love also strengthens relationships by building mutual respect. When you hold people accountable, you're sending a clear message: I believe in you and I know you're capable of more. This approach fosters trust and admiration because it demonstrates that you value the other person enough to invest in their growth. It's far more impactful than enabling behavior that keeps them stagnant or unmotivated. People may not always appreciate tough love in the moment, but over time, they'll recognize and respect the strength and care behind it. It's also important to recognize that tough love isn't about perfection or control, it's about balance. It's being firm when necessary but compassionate at the same time. For example, telling someone they need to work harder to achieve their goals doesn't mean you stop encouraging or supporting them. It means you're honest about what it takes to succeed while standing by them as they navigate the journey. Tough love is a gift. It challenges people to grow, teaches them resilience, and empowers them to take responsibility for their lives. By practicing tough love, you not only help others reach their potential, but also create stronger, more authentic connections based on honesty, respect, and genuine care. Respect is a fundamental part of any relationship, and it is something that must be earned, not demanded. In a world where people often seek validation, approval, or admiration, the idea of gaining respect by simply being true to yourself might seem counterintuitive. However, true respect comes from standing firm in your principles, asserting your boundaries, and remaining consistent in your actions. When you stop being overly accommodating and start prioritizing your own values and goals, you send a powerful message to others: I respect myself, and I expect the same from you. Respect isn't something that can be coerced or manipulated. When you try to please everyone or avoid confrontation at all costs, you often end up diluting your own sense of self. People may initially appreciate your flexibility or your willingness to go along with whatever they want, but this doesn't necessarily translate to respect. Instead, you may find that the very people you're trying to please take advantage of your kindness, assuming they can continue to ask for more without offering anything in return. In the end, this does not build the foundation of genuine respect. When you clearly communicate your needs, values, and limits, you establish a sense of authority and self-respect that others are likely to mirror. People naturally respect those who are consistent, confident, and unwavering in their principles. They may not always agree with you, but they will admire your ability to stay true to yourself and make decisions based on your values. This respect is earned not through compliance, but through the integrity you show in maintaining your boundaries, even when it's uncomfortable. When you are firm in your convictions, you create an environment in which others feel compelled to act with integrity as well. People are more likely to respect you when they see that you respect yourself enough to protect your time, your energy, and your well-being. This kind of respect is mutual. It builds trust and encourages others to be more mindful of their own behavior, knowing that you won't tolerate disrespect or mistreatment. Whether personal or professional, it's crucial to understand that respect is not a one-way street. It's a reciprocal process that requires both parties to show consideration for each other's boundaries, needs, and values. By setting clear expectations and standing firm, you foster a dynamic where respect becomes a natural part of the interaction, rather than something that must be constantly negotiated or earned. Living with purpose is the key to a fulfilling life, yet so many people spend their time trying to please others, forgetting their own dreams and goals in the process. When you make pleasing others your primary focus, you begin to lose sight of what truly matters to you. You start to shape your life around the needs and expectations of others, and in doing so, you put your own desires and passions on the back burner. While it's natural to want to be liked or to seek approval, it's essential to remember that your life's purpose cannot be found in the approval of others, it's found within you. When you are constantly seeking to please everyone, you risk becoming disconnected from your true self. The desire to meet others' expectations can lead you down paths that aren't aligned with your personal values, leaving you feeling unfulfilled and disillusioned. You may achieve what others want from you, but deep inside you may feel like something is missing. The truth is, your greatest source of satisfaction and joy comes from living in alignment with your own purpose, not from catering to the wishes of others. Living with purpose requires you to focus on what truly matters to you. It means recognizing your passions, your strengths, and your goals, and prioritizing them above the desire to please others. It's about making choices that align with your vision for your life, even if that means disappointing a few people along the way. By making intentional decisions based on your own values, you create a life that is authentic and fulfilling, one that brings you true satisfaction and happiness. Purpose-driven living also involves embracing the discomfort of setting boundaries. When you stop trying to meet everyone's needs, you may face resistance, whether it's from family, friends, or colleagues who expect you to conform to their desires. But this resistance is a necessary part of the process. It's a sign that you are choosing your own path and learning to protect your time, energy, and focus. As you become more committed to your own purpose, you'll start to see that the approval you once sought from others pales in comparison to the satisfaction that comes from pursuing your own goals. Living with purpose means living for yourself not in a selfish way, but in a way that allows you to honor your own dreams and goals. When you prioritize your purpose over the need to please others, you create a life that is truly your own, one that is not shaped by external validation, but by the power of your own vision and determination. Finding the balance between compassion and strength is essential in leading a life that is both meaningful and sustainable. It's easy to think that being kind means being passive or weak, but true strength is about knowing when to assert yourself and when to show empathy. The combination of compassion and strength allows you to stand firm in your convictions while still showing care for others. This balance is crucial for maintaining healthy, respectful relationships without compromising your own values and well-being. Compassion is a powerful force. It's the ability to empathize with others, to offer support, and to be there when people need you. However, compassion without strength can lead to burnout, resentment, and feeling taken advantage of. When you constantly put others before yourself without setting boundaries, you risk draining your own energy, leaving little for your own needs and aspirations. This can lead to frustration and a sense of powerlessness because, despite your best intentions, you're unable to help others in a meaningful way when you're exhausted or overwhelmed. The strength, on the other hand, allows you to protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. It gives you the ability to say no when necessary and to prioritize your own needs without guilt. Strength isn't about being harsh or unyielding. It's about being firm in your convictions and knowing when to draw the line. When you combine strength with compassion, you can care for others in ways that are sustainable and healthy without sacrificing your own peace of mind. One of the most important aspects of balancing compassion and strength is understanding that it's okay to set limits. You can be kind and empathetic while still maintaining control over your life and actions. This balance is not about withholding love or support, but about being mindful of your own needs as well. By practicing both compassion and strength, you allow yourself to be present for others without losing sight of your own goals, dreams, and well-being. This balance fosters mutual respect. People are more likely to respect you when they see that you respect yourself. By being compassionate but also standing firm in your boundaries, you create an environment where both you and others can thrive. You show that you care by taking care of yourself first, which ultimately makes you better equipped to offer genuine support to those around you. Combining compassion and strength allows you to live authentically and with integrity. It's not about being perfect or always pleasing others. It's about finding the right balance that enables you to care for yourself and others without compromising your values. This balanced approach to life empowers you to lead with both kindness and confidence, fostering relationships that are both healthy and fulfilling.